Okay, so if you've been on my channel before, you might know that I'm a massive fan of fuzz. I have quite a few different ones, from really boutiquey ones like the Dan Drive, to crazy Jimi Hendrix ones like the Octaland from Kingtone, to incredibly loud ones like the Myriad Fuzz from Bemiram, and of course my absolute favourite, the Austin Pride by Dan Drive. I've got others as well. You might see them later in this video, but today, if I can open this, tell you what, another passion of mine is proper knives. This is a little sort of hunting utility knife from Blenheim Forge. That's a forge that's actually in Peckham in London. Just before the pandemic, I was actually going to do a knife making course, and I'd done a bit of practice, but maybe I'll be able to make something really cool one day to show you guys. Mainly they're for cooking, by the way. I don't actually do any hunting. Okay. What have I got in here? Couple of fuzz pedals, of course. By whom? None other than Jesse Davey. That is Kingtone. So what have I got here? Well, again, this came from a commenter who suggested I might like to try these mini fuzzes. But why have I got two of them? Well, if we have a look inside, mini fuzz. You have the little lead. It's like an adapter. Same with the vintage fuzz that I've got from Kingtone. And what do we have here? We've got, well, it's hard to say because it doesn't actually say on here. Aha, this is the germanium one. If you see here, it says Mini Fuzz GE. And if I open the other packet, hopefully they've not mucked this up. This says Mini Fuzz SI. So obviously we've got a silicon fuzz and a germanium fuzz. I thought it would be fun today. I've done this before where I get a lot of my fuzz pedals on the board and we just have a bit of fun. And today I think I will use my P90 Gold Top. I've had people asking me to use it. I've actually been playing with it a lot recently, not so much on the channel, just by myself. The pots need cleaning out. I think I might do a video on how to do that, just in case anyone doesn't know. The only thing worrying me about this is I have no idea which is which anymore. That seems to be a little bit of a problem. Maybe we'll figure it out. I think the second one I opened was the germanium, so I better keep that over here. Right, we're going to go over to the board in a minute. I'll tell you what I've got, what the rig is, and we'll have some fun with some fuzz pedals. Okay, before you all start jumping down in the comments and telling me I'm an idiot, I've realised it says Fuzz GE on the end of the fuzz and Fuzz SI. I did think that would be a bit unlikely. But anyway, what we'll do today is we'll see what the actual difference is. Again, I've done this before, but each time I get new pedals, it makes sense to see if there's an even more obvious difference between germanium and silicon. So it's going to be a lot of fun. I'll see you again in a second. Alright guys, this is probably going to be a loud one. You can see the decibel meter. Let's see how high it goes. My feeling is that I know which pedal will make it go highest. I'm not going to tell you. We'll find out. But as you can see on the board, I've got a wide array of pedals from the vintage fuzz through to an Octaland, which they're both Kingtone pedals, by the way. So in fact, there are 4 Kingtone pedals on the board today. The Chase Bliss Automatone makes a return to the board after a long time, and I must apologise for the mess that the board always looks like it's in, but taking pedals off and on several times a week to make videos means I can't tie things down and make them look good, because every pedal has a different placement for where the jacks go in, and I put different size pedals everywhere and everything, so it is what it is. Okay, we're going to start today with the tone of the amp, of course, and the P90s in here, you'll hear those. We're on the lead channel of the amp. I think we'll stay there today. this amp in its lead position is sort of got like a dirty tweed thing going on, which is just great with these P90s. I love it. So let's start with the pedal that started me off, which is the Hendrix one with the Hendrix face on it. I'd never tried fuzz before, and then I got this, which is like a mini fuzz face from Dunlop, and I've got it in the germanium setting, and it can switch to silicone. So I'm going to put some tremolo on for my favourite effect, tremolo. Let's see what we can max out this pedal at volume-wise. And I've just switched it over to the silicon. Very tame. Now I know it's tame compared to these other ones, so I don't really play with that pedal, and I might use it for an Instagram giveaway. On the other hand, it's good to have as a base mark for a sort of mainstream pedal. So let's get the mad Myriad Fuzz out of the way, and then we'll go back to the vintage. I will not play with this pedal more than once. It's such a good pedal in many ways, but also just incredibly ridiculous, and I think in a live setting it would be difficult to use at full tilt like this. Obviously I could turn the fuzz back, but I'm not going to do that. The level is only just on though, and it's again without. Yeah, it's loud, I told you. 104 or 5 that I went to, that's pretty loud. I mean, I can get louder in this room, more uncomfortable, but fuzz is wonderfully compressed, so it doesn't really hurt the ears as much as some other things would. But I told you, we're going to move on from that. We're going to try the vintage fuzz. Let's start with it rolled back a bit. I love that sort of tone. Really great sounding pedal. Has that vintage tone, you can really clean it up really easily and then climax into it throughout the you know, whatever music you're playing. So the Vintage Fuzz is a top quality pedal, another one from Kingtone. Much more useful to me than the Vemuram. Myriad Fuzz. The Myriad Fuzz is a lot of fun, but it's a pain in the arse to use. I should probably show you. If I roll back the fuzz on the Myriad. So it's not just because the fuzz was rolled up, it's crazy, that pedal. Okay, I want to go on to the fantastic Chase Bliss Automatone. Someone asked me the other day why it's not on the board more often, because surely it's the best of everything, the best overdrive, the best fuzz, everything. I think it's a really good overdrive, it's a really good fuzz, and it's really great obviously for EQ and for having lots of settings on a board. But whether it individually beats like a Jan Ray or a Blues Power or a whatever, I'd say not. But we got more exploring to do coming up with this pedal, more in-depth stuff. So let's wait for them. But we're gonna have a go with the I could hear that coming, the volume. You heard that. Now we're into germanium fuzz instead. It doesn't clean up so well when you pull back on the volume. I mean, we're on number 4 there on this neck pickup. Whereas if I was using the Vintage Fuzz, let's see. And that's a really important asset to have in a fuzz pedal. If I roll it up now. So yeah, so the Chase Bliss is not cleaning up so much, but you heard it, it's a full-on great fuzz pedal. I'd say the fuzz in that is really like a bonus and an extra to the overdrive, but it's good. We'll come back to it in a minute. I want to move on to the Octaland, which is set as Jesse Davey puts on the box some different ways of setting it up. This is called Mr. SRV, so let's just see what that sounds like. That's ridiculous. Maybe we'll just change that up a bit, see what happens. it's different. It's very different from other pedals. Obviously, you've got that octave effect, which if you blend that in so much, then you end up not even knowing what note you're about to play, which some might argue I never do know what note I'm going to play. I'd probably argue that myself. In these demos, it's very hard to think, play, and do everything else all at the same time. But that pedal is certainly interesting, and I think we'll do a more sort of up-close video with that as well. You know, we'll do like a 10 minutes with the Octaland sort of video, which is going to be a sort of new series I'm going to come out with gradually. 10 minutes with where I go through the basics of a pedal and then a few tones from it, but not try and go on for half an hour like I normally do, because when I've got a full board, it all goes on forever. Okay, right. Let's go to the secret weapon, which is here. I bought this secret weapon fuzz first, then I got the Austin Pride soon after, so you never really see the secret weapon on the board. It would be fantastic if it was the only fuzz I had, but it's got the Austin Pride next to it, which gives me more of what I want. So, best pedal I've got, possibly the Austin Pride, my favourite fuzz for sure, but I'm yet to play the two mini fuzzes. I haven't even got there yet. So yeah, that's the rest of the board. Apologise, my playing is a little bit less average than normal. It's worse than normal. This is the second video I'm filming today because I've got to take a few days off for something else, and it's hot in here and I'm sweating, and I do apologise, but you know, it's time for me to take a few days off as well after that. You know, once a month or so. If you've never been to the channel before, I tend to take a few days off and do some learning, you know, learning some new stuff. And I can tell when that's about to happen because I plateau and I end up playing all the same stuff for a few demos in a row, and I get bored of it myself. But anyway, that's not the important thing today. It's all about the fuzz. So, 1, 2, 3, 4. So this should be the silicon fuzz. I've set both of these fuzzes the same today, which I'll show you in a close-up, just to give an idea of the silicon versus the germanium. So we're starting with the silicon one today. thought they'd be really fantastic pedals. Obviously, I'm yet to play around with all the different things. And Jesse Davies' own demo of this is fantastic, showing you how to use the couple of little dials at the bottom, the 3 different settings in the middle. These are full on, you know, these are not cheap pedals. And I was worried about spending about £270 each. But I felt like I just, you know, as a fuzz lover, I had to have these pedals. Had to. So I went ahead and got them. Just off that, it gives you know that flavour that germanium is a little bit warmer and it rolls off the top end a little bit more. The silicon is a little bit more direct. I enjoy them both equally, I would say. Let's go into the neck pickup. We were in the bridge pickup there. So the silicon. You know, I think a person probably needs to only buy one of those. So many of the parameters are obviously the same, and it would obviously in a live setting for your audience make very little difference. So what I'm going to do is a very in-depth video at some point in the next month or so after I've had time to play with them. I mean, you saw I literally unboxed these to see with a few different guitars and everything what the real difference is. Which mini fuzz should you buy? Because you might want to buy one. You know, I think they probably sound fantastic, and the wait list for the Austin Pride is very long, so it's difficult to get hold of one of those. On the first play, I already prefer that mini fuzz to the vintage fuzz. That's all I would say for now. Out of this board, just from that very first play, if I didn't have the Austin Pride, those would be the fuzzes I would want instead. Prefer them to everything else. So really, that's all this video was about. A very quick demonstration. I'll just play for another second or more, in case you came here for the mini fuzzes. But as I'm saying, I'm going to do another video on those very soon. So subscribe to the channel if you want to see that. Hit the notification bell so you know when that's happening. But we're on the silicon one here. Like so many things in life, I find fuzz least interesting when you whack everything up to 10, you know? It becomes very monotone. Where you pull it back that little bit. I wish I tried that combo right at the beginning. That was very cool. The mini fuzz, that was silicon with the Octaland. That was a great combination. I'm going to play around with that a lot more. But yeah, this was just a taster today. I hope you've enjoyed that. And let me know which of these fuzz pedals you want full in-depth reviews on. If you're really intrigued and interested by them, I'm definitely going to do the mini fuzzes because there's a lot to talk about with those. Anyway, so yeah, that's been the P90s, the fuzzes, the Sky King, and the decibel meter. So let's see what that said when I go and edit it. Cheers.